So, did you grow up close to your father and mother?
I wouldn't say that I did, no.
And why not?
That's a complicated question. I'll try to make it as simple as possible. I love my parents, and I would never say that I had not a loving relationship with them, or not that they were loving, but there were a lot of factors at hand with my parents and with my family dynamic in general that made it very challenging emotionally. There wasn't a lot of room for emotional expression, or like I said, personal expression in any way.
Were they a living example of what they were preaching and learning in church, and did they live what they said?
Yes and no. For an easy answer, yes and no.
Meaning what?
There was a lot of emphasis on what other people thought. And so the face that maybe we presented as a family was different than what was actually happening at home.
That happens a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
Amazing. How do you see your father?
I think that he is a very loving, generous, and sacrificial man who also has a lot of his own demons and a lot of his own challenges that come from his background.
Right.
That he has found comfort, and he has found structure, and he has found a place to kind of have a foothold in Christianity. But I also think that he has a lot of love and openness, and that has unconditional love for his children.
And how do you see your mother?
That's a very challenging question. I think that when I've been able to distance myself from my background, I'm 33 years old now, I think I'm able to recognize that my mother has gone through a lot of trauma and a lot of really difficult situations throughout her life, and the way that she's decided to deal with that is to basically envelop herself in religion and ignore other ways of dealing with it. So I think it actually causes a lot more damage to the relationships with her children.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so do you ever go to visit? You ever go back there to visit your parents?
Yeah, I'm actually going back at the end of the month.
And have you forgiven them for the mistakes they made and the way they are? Have you forgiven them?
I try to.
Have you told them you forgave them?
We don't have those conversations.
Well, why don't you have it?
I've thought about it. We'll see.
And why haven't you had it so far?
It's painful.
In what way?
It's painful to acknowledge the hurt, I think, that's there between us. Right. And it's also hard because I've recognized that despite all the personal work that I've done in my life for my own personal development, there's only so much, there's limitations, I guess is what I can say, between the ability that I think that I can have to have a relationship with them, because they don't believe the same that I do.
Right.
And they come from a perspective that what they believe is right and what I believe is wrong, or how I live my life is wrong.
Do you believe that they did the best that they could do? They gave what they had?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they were able to do better or be different, they would have?
Yeah, I think so.
And so why not just tell them that and realize that they couldn't help themselves and just forgive them?
I think I have at certain times.
But you haven't told them, though. You have to tell them.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever actually said those words.
Right.
I think we've had some of those conversations, but I don't know if it's been that specific.
But you haven't said, you know what, I'm sorry for being angry at you for your weakness. I realize you've done your best, and I'm wrong for being angry at you because you did your best.
I don't know if I've ever said that.
Will you say that?
I don't know.
You think about it?
Maybe.
Right. It'll free you up.
I'm not really holding that anger. I wouldn't say that I hold the anger anymore. It's more sadness.
Yeah. Let them know that. I no longer hold anger against you.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.